Yemi family, the Twabu. This is Alex Gabriel Arbantu. I'm here to give you a message today about who the Khazars are, the Khazar Empire. That is mystique. It's very hard to find information on these people. It's been removed, but let's all first give all honor and glory to Tatanzam Yamazulu. And we also give special honor to Yenge Keno, Basimbi Yamoto, Mai, Mpemba, Mpebe, Yenge Keno, Ba Nkulu Oyo, Asali na Mpembe, Kolunga, Yenge Keno Ba Ngunza Oyo, Azali na Mpemba, Kolunga, Nino, Bolonga, and Yenge Keno to Nabi, Yaya Mikamasa, Yenge Keno to the saints in the Kenga Polunga, Yenge Keno to the Mwandan Semi. In Geta. So, we are going to talk about a very interesting group of people. Okay. Let's also see if type of research that I have presented to you is also backs up the claim of this book. Okay. So the book is also expensive. Once again, knowledge is always expensive, real knowledge. Okay. So the Jews of Khazar, okay, recounts the eventful history of the kingdom of the Khazar, which were located in Eastern Europe, okay, and flourished as an independent state from about the year 650 to the year 1016. In the 9th century, the Khazar royalty and nobility, as well as a significant portion of the Khazar population, embraced, okay, the Jewish religion. Okay, they embraced it. That means they weren't following it first of all. Okay, this volume tracks the development of the Khazar from their early beginnings as a tribe to the decline and fall of their kingdom. Okay, it also examines the many migrations of the Khazar people into Hungary, Ukraine, and other areas of Europe, and their subsequent assimilations, providing the most comparable treatments of the complex issue to date. The Jews of Khazar draws upon the latest archival, linguistics, and archaeological discoveries. Ashkenazi Jews who wish to explain their distant ancestors in Eastern Europe will benefit from reading this book. So what it's telling you is the Ashkenazi Jews, okay, of a certain region in the Middle East, their heritage goes back to the Khazars. Okay. So when we go over here, this is the Khazar Empire. Okay. Now we'll also hear from some elders. Okay. One elder would be Nabi. He mostly speaks in French, but he has a video. But his name is Nabi Siba Malunga. Okay. I give him honor. It's also his video that he did. So I don't own the rights to the video or anything, but I'm just giving you a fair warning that it's his video. So the Khazars are here, okay? This is in Russia also. Down here is the Muslims, when they had the Muslims religion, and the Christian religion was up over here, okay? They were being squeezed in by both religions. And then the king had a vision or something, and then he switched his belief from shamanism, okay? These people practiced shamanism. Then they converted into Judaism, okay? So now the reason why I bring this up is when we go into Revelations 3, 8, and 9, okay? It says, I know your deeds, okay? He's talking to Yisolele, okay, the Most High's people, which are the Bantus. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut, okay? That means the children of the Most High always have a door back to him as long as you worship the Most High in spirit and in truth, okay? I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. Now, wait a minute. if the people of the book have never denied the Most High's name, okay, but these so-called Khazars were practicing paganism, shamanism, and then they were searching for the true creator, how can you be linked to the true tribes if you've never even known the name or existence of the true creator? Okay? Because Yisole has always had the name of the Most High. They've never denied the name of the Most High. And the reason why they have little strength is because the Most High himself is their strength. Okay? But look, I will make those who are of the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews, though they are not, but are liars. I will make them come and fall down at your feet at the knowledge that I have loved you, Yisolele. Okay. We're first gonna watch. This is Siba Malunga, Nabi Yaya Siba Malunga. Okay.
You are a prestigious people. Your history is in the Bible.
This is a fascinating book, and the web pages are there. You can check it out. Facts are facts. This is a book that was written by a Jewish man, and he confronted the thinking of many of the high-placed individuals of the world. This is interesting stuff. In this book, Benjamin H. Friedman, a Jewish man, writes about the Jews and reveals an interesting history. He states that the present Jews in Palestine are not the true descendants of the Judeans, but rather descendants of the Khazars. In the letter addressed to D. David Goldstein of Boston, Massachusetts, a convert to Catholicism, the author, Benjamin Friedman of New York City, dated October 1954, provides some fascinating insights. This is in the public domain. Let's study this for a while and see where we get. Benjamin H. Friedman claims that the word Jew was only introduced into the English language in the 18th century, and that Jesus referred to himself as a Judean and not as a Jew. Inscribed upon the cross when Jesus was crucified were the Latin words Iesus Nazarenus Rex Iodeorum, which means Jesus of Nazareth, ruler of the Judeans. As to the origin of the present Jews in Palestine, he states that those Jews derived from Eastern Europe, and many of the Jews that today live in the reconstituted state of Israel come from Eastern Europe, are not descendants of the Judeans or the lost tribes of Israel, but rather descendants of the Khazars. Who were they? They were a nation most people do not even know of. He writes, the so-called self-styled Jews in Eastern Europe in modern history cannot legitimately point to a single ancient ancestor who ever set even a foot on the soil of Palestine in the era of Bible history. Research also revealed that the so-called or self-styled Jews in Eastern Europe were never Semites, are not Semites now, nor can they ever be regarded as Semites at any future time by any stretch of the imagination. What secret, mysterious power has been able for countless generations to keep the origin and the history of the Khazars and the Khazar kingdom out of the history textbooks? Did you ever learn about it at school? I never learned about it. And out of classroom courses in history throughout the world, the origin and the history of Khazars and the Khazar kingdom are certainly incontestable historical facts. You have to do some cross-checking. Even the Jewish Encyclopedia is quite explicit about it. This was the Khazar kingdom. Here is the Black Sea, the Byzantine Empire. Here was Persia. And here was the kingdom of the Khazars. It was a massive kingdom. Now let's look at some of this interesting history. The Khazars were an Asiatic nation. And the Jewish encyclopedia states Persian origin that converted to Talmudic Judaism. Now, obviously, some of the rabbis involved there could have been Judeans and probably were Judean descendants, but their converts are not Judeans. And that had conquered a vast area of Eastern Europe, which was in turn later conquered by the Russians in the 10th and 13th century. So that is why there are so many Russian Jews. Have you ever thought where they came from? Did they escape from Palestine? Were they the lost 10 tribes? Did they emigrate to Russia? No. This is a totally different nation that accepted Talmudic Judaism. He writes, after a historic session with representatives of the three monotheistic religions, King Bulan, 7th century, decided against Christian and Islam, because Islam had just arisen, and selected as the future state religion the religious worship then known as Talmudism, and not known and practiced as Judaism, which was totally different, which was based on the Bible. They adopted the Hebrew alphabet, and the Khazars adapted words to their requirements from the German, the Slavonic, and the Baltic languages. This language was known as Yiddish. And Yiddish used the Hebrew alphabetic characters, but not Hebrew. It's not Hebrew. It's Yiddish. I've always wondered, when I hear them speaking Yiddish, I understand quite a few words. Why? Because I'm German. They had many exchanges with universities and their students were trained. So here is another nation which had occupied this area, and they had adopted this religion and brought rabbis in and trained the people, but they were not Judean. Now let's jump to today. In accordance to this history, the religion of the modern state of Israel is based on Kabbalistic and Talmudic traditions and is far removed from the biblical worship of Yahweh.
So, what it's talking about, guys, when it talks about Yiddish, okay, these people speak Yiddish. Okay, the Russian Jews, these so-called Russian Jews, okay? The problem also we're having is you have people who have ruled over the world. Remember, when you have ruled over the world and you are the victor of the battle, you get to write your history, okay? Now, it's funny how they gave a little bit of truth. Not true. Yeah, okay? It's not the J sound, okay? Because we already went over this in my previous teaching, that the letter J only existed during the creation of the American alphabet, okay? It's a very new letter, okay? It's yeah, not Yaja, okay? It's Ya, as in Ya Congo. Okay, if my people which are called by my name would humble themselves and turn back to his righteous ways, okay, his true worshipers shall come from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out, where's Ethiopia on this map, people? Okay. Africa is down here, guys.
Removed from the biblical worship of Yahweh. And if it is based on the Talmud, it is so anti-Jesus Christ that it belies understanding. And here we have, in March 2006, while visiting Yeshiva University at Brooklyn, New York, a Jewish institute dedicated to the study of the what? Talmud. We have Cardinal Casper. Who's Cardinal Casper? Cardinal Casper is the cardinal associated with ecumenism. They are honoring the Talmud together. You see, behind the scenes, there is a pact. Because I, as a Christian, can sympathize with every other religion, but I cannot embrace a religion that speaks evil of Jesus Christ. Nor can I have a union with such a religion. Because can two walk together lest they be agreed?
They just came out with a new DNA study.
It's funny, guys, when you listen to this guy, right? He even states it in his own teaching, right? That the language, okay, that the the letter J didn't exist, everything. So this guy knows this stuff, but the problem is he keeps promoting this Christian nonsense, this Jesus nonsense, right? This is how you know when someone's really telling you truth or someone's still working with the devil. Okay? You can only serve two masters, people. You can serve Satan or you can serve Yakongo. Okay? And that's the reality. Okay? This guy still wants to propagate Christianity, number one, which is also what we studied in our previous teachings, was from paganism, which was from Mithraism, through the Emperor Caesar, okay? If you don't know that, go look back in my previous video where I show you the history about Christianity and its origins of paganism. Every single religion in the world has links to paganism and worship of Satan. Because even Satan himself said when he fell from heaven like lightning, like a light, who is the light bearer? Okay, your so-called Jesus, all right? And the reality is when he fell, he also said that I will establish my throne so the whole world shall worship me. Okay? And he also says in Revelations what? That the whole world is ruled by the wicked. Okay? And Satan's image is already being propagated in worship. The whole world shall worship the image of the beast. All right? So you're already in the world worshiping the beast. You don't even realize it. When you're born into this world, you have to get your mind out of the matrix. You have to get your mind out of paganism. All right? And the problem is, we're in the book of Daniel, when Daniel had the understanding that knowledge shall increase. But this is the time period we're in. All right? I also did a teaching on that. We're in the time of knowledge. Knowledge is at everyone's fingertips. Okay, computers have so much knowledge. People are researching so much stuff. I would not be able to put this teaching together if it wasn't for people like Siba Malunga and the other individuals that also put forward this type of information. Okay, because then in the olden times you'd have to go to the library, find the book. Hopefully it's there. Okay, because when you try to even find this stuff on Google, the only thing I keep seeing, okay, is that this Ashkenazi linkage to the Khazars is a lie, when really it's not a lie, okay? They have so much propaganda against the truth as well, okay? It's very hard to find history about the Khazars because the people who are the leaders of the world, who run the world, they destroy that history. You're not taught certain history, so you don't really realize who is who and who is not who when they say that they are.
By Dr. Ilan Elhaik of St. John's Hopkins School of Medicine, one of the most distinguished schools in America. He's Jewish. He says that there is no Jewish people, that all of the Jews in the world came from the Khazars and such. Now, there have been other genetic studies on this. In other words, no one living in Israel today has ancestors who came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So the people, when Netanyahu says God gave us the title of this land, 5,000 years ago, no such thing. His ancestors came from Khazaria.
So there's been new genetic research showing that's a true theory.
So this just came.
The 13th tribe has been confirmed. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Arthur Kessler, the poor guy died. Some say he was murdered. He was a very good Zionist Jew, and he wrote the 13th tribe. He said they came. All of the historians and archaeologists have always said this. I wanted to.
That's around Georgia.
Yeah, I wanted to know the truth. I wanted to say, well, what is the truth on this? Well, now we have DNA evidence that says the Jews are converts. They're pagans who converted to Judaism. They do not. Their bloodlines do not go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And not only that, but Dr. Elhike, who is Jewish, who is a real fighter there, he says there's no doubt about it. It's science. So what happens? What all the Christians do? I want to say this. Henry Kissinger knew of this study. He knows of this. I think
Well, no, it's really chic to hate Israel, and I see them building it up, Antichrist stuff. He claims to be and then kills them. This is crazy.
Right, the elite.
That's what I'm saying. It's more
The
sophisticated.
elite have latched on to Israel as a tactic, as a strategy.
I saw America's plunging in the polls. They have us do the dirty work, then they destroy us.
Absolutely. Look, the Rothschilds and the others are Sabbatean Jews. They worship Satan. They don't worship the Bible. They have a serpent that they worship. I know this sounds fantastic. Of course it is. But that
was because of that ancient area north of Georgia. That was the
right, Kazakhstan, Georgia, all those areas in there. Those people migrated over to Europe. There were 3 million Polish people. Now, when Israel was formed, David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister, was a Polish guy. Shimon Peres is Polish. That wasn't even their names. They changed their names to sound like they were Israelites. So we have a nation of imposters. But it would be wrong of us to hate these people. It would be wrong of us to not get the right idea here. The right idea is this. These people have been used. They have been used for foul purposes. They have been used to set up a bastion in the Middle East. But they will be dealt with. They'll be destroyed once the New World Order has...
Yeah, why is Saudi Muslims too?
Yeah, well, Pike was an interesting character who had the plan. And he said basically the plan is that there will be a great clash between the Muslims, the Christians, with the Jews sort of sitting on the sideline, but they'll be destroyed too. So that atheism will be the true religion, and Lucifer will be the one we worship. And I think that's the key here. We have to understand these people do not worship the Old Testament. And I'm talking about the Illuminati elite. They don't worship the Old Testament. They don't believe in the Old Testament at all. They have the Kabbalah.
As a Jew, and I just got to say, it just makes total sense because, the whole continent of Africa, when Jesus was speaking about his second coming, and as the lightning is seen from the east and to the west, then so will my coming be. And it's very obvious that to the east of Jerusalem you see is Africa. So it really means that the Jews are Africans. Okay, it just makes... the way he explained it, it was just like, wow, that, the Jews are taking over, which means the black Africans, of course. It's the black African bankers that are hailing from sort of Middle Eastern, and, it must be these people, not the Swiss bankers and not the Rothschilds that are really sort of running things as far as the banking industry goes. It must be the black Africans. They must be the true Jews, and basically it's just really enlightened me today. I really thank all these people online that have spoken these wonderful truths. Over 1 billion black Africans.
So it's a reality, people. Okay, the land of the Khazars. Here, okay? You got this thing right here showing you DNA and Earth, stunning secrets. Okay, Jews the Khazars. Okay, We also go into this elder. Okay? Truth is truth no matter who speaks it. Okay? You saw a man who's Jewish proclaiming that the people of the book were black. Okay? But the funny part is you listen to this Muslim elder here, he's telling you the history of the Khazars. But the problem is you're going to have historians who work for these so-called Jews to propagate their lie to keep them in power. Okay?
Shortly after the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, something very mysterious happened in that part of the world that historians have chosen to bury. A tribe called the Khazars chose to embrace Judaism. And so the world witnessed for the first time the very strange phenomenon of a non-Semitic people becoming Jews. Non-Semitic becoming Jews. The genetic research is available on the internet. Anyone can study it. You had conferences, medical conferences, which were organized to study these people, their genetic composition. They had a genetic composition which was unique in all of mankind. No people in the world were like them. This is scientific research. And these people, the Khazars, chose to convert to Judaism, but they did so not for any religious reasons. They were not so much interested in the Kitab and to follow the law. They embraced Judaism for purposes of political expediency. They were sandwiched between Islam and Christianity, Byzantine Christianity, and they chose Judaism. These European Jews who have no racial, biological connection with the Banu Israel multiplied. وهم من كل حدب ينسلون. They multiplied and breeded to such an extent that today 9 in every 10 Jews in the world, 90% or more, are European Jews. They outnumber the Semitic Jews by 9 to 1 or 10 to 1. These European Jews, if you look at the list of names of Nobel Prizes for science, for literature, would you name it? You will find that these are people who far exceed the rest of mankind in their intellectual brilliance, in their academic achievements, in their scientific research. They are a people different from the rest of mankind. And then you find that these Khazars who became Jews also chose to become Christians. So you have the Khazars infiltrating the camp of Judaism and infiltrating the camp of Christianity as well. And from the ranks of these Khazar Jews and Khazar Christians, the emergence of the Jewish-Christian alliance can be traced. It is this Jewish-Christian alliance, Khazar, which eventually gives birth to the Zionist movement. The Zionist movement has absolutely nothing to do with Banu Israel. It is an essentially and an exclusively European achievement. It is these Khazar who, having become Jews, first Jews and secondary Christians, who built an empire that was the most powerful in Europe and Central Asia. And when the armies of Islam had simultaneously defeated the two superpowers in the world, the Persian Empire and Byzantium, and had emerged as the most powerful military force in the world, Khazar blocked our way. We could not defeat them. And so it would be quite correct to say that the Khazar demonstrated a military power without equal in the world at that time. It is from this part of the world that they spread out. They spread out to Eastern Europe, they spread to Russia, and eventually crossed the sea to the United States. And they are at the heart of the revolutions which transformed Europe from Christendom into modern Western civilization. They are at the heart of the Bolshevik revolution in Russia, which overturned Christianity in Russia. They are at the heart of the French Revolution, in consequence of which the back of the Christian church is broken. The prohibition of riba is now consigned to the garbage bin. And they are at the heart of the creation of the Zionist movement. It is these Khazar, Jewish and Christian, who now move to the Holy Land, assisted by a strange and mysterious Jewish Holocaust. And the history of that will one day be revealed on Judgment Day. How much was their input into the Holocaust? So that you have an exodus now of these European Jews to the Holy Land. When the state of Israel comes into being, who it is who controls power in Israel? Not the Oriental Jews, the darker-skinned Jews. No, they are second-class citizens. The ones who control power in Israel are the European Jews.
So, as you can see, they came from Russia, okay? And what does the Bible tell us, guys, right? When we go into Revelation 16 and 3, I think. Not 13. This is talking about the three frogs of Revelation. Okay. Then I saw three impure spirits that looked like frogs that came out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. It is talking about Christianity, the Muslim religion, and Judaism. You do your research into all three of those religions. It all stemmed from paganism. Okay. And religion is a Greek word which means to bind and to control. Okay. And once again, who's the one that gives people religion? Okay. It's the devil. It's mankind and their devilish ways of putting the Most High's words into the practices that they want, adding and taking away what they think is right, what they think is holy. Okay? Because the Bible even says what the Most High has never changed his ways. The Most High has never changed his ways from beginning now until the end. He's the same from the beginning of creation before mankind until the end. That means the name of the Most High has never changed, his laws, his statutes, and everything. Okay? And then we go to John. What was it? John 4, 24. You Samaritans worship what you do not know. We worship what we do know. For salvation is from the Yaoundé, Judah. Okay? Yet a time is come that has now come when the true worshipers will worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. For they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. Okay? Yakongo seeks. In Zambi or Yakongo is spirit, and his worshipers must worship him in spirit and in truth. Okay? All right? In spirit and in truth. You do not see religion. You do not see Christian. You do not see Jew or Muslim. There's not one single Bible verse that tells you to be a Christian to be saved. This Bible verse right here is telling you, okay, that you have to go to whom? All right? Okay. The woman asked Yesaiah, okay, and Yesaiah replied, believe me, a time is coming when you will worship the Most High neither on this mountain nor in Salem, okay? As in the people will also be scattered, okay? But there are people still in Congo, in the true kingdom, in Beulah, Zion, okay? If I'm not mistaken, I think that's Isaiah 61 verse 2. Okay. I think so. Is it Isaiah? Yeah. I'm not mistaken, it's Isaiah. I'm not mistaken. Right. So it's interesting what people will believe when the truth comes out. Okay. And one last thing that we have to look up. It's called thesis and antithesis. Mm. Okay, so thesis and antithesis are literally techniques used to make a point during a debate or a lecture or discussion about a topic. The thesis is the theory or the definition of the point. No, it's not what I want. Just had it. Right here. I have it on my phone, so let's see. Okay. What is the result of thesis and antithesis? Okay. Thesis together with antithesis results in a synthesis. According to philosopher Hegel, okay, Hegel's dialectics is a physio- is a is a physio- is a philosophical method involving a contradiction serving or events between opposing sides. Okay. Hegelian dialectic. Okay. So you have two opposing sides. Okay. And that is the whole point of religion. Okay. You have two opposing sides. Okay. And this is also used by the Freemasons. Okay. So the world is being run by very evil people. Okay. The Illuminati, the Freemasons, right? They are the Jesuits. I don't want to say too much because I will get my channel pulled down if I start talking about certain things, and I don't need that happening. Okay. So you guys have to remember in the Bible it says that the wicked are very crafty in their counsel. Okay. They have more knowledge than the children of light, because the children of darkness are always planning against the Most High's people. Okay. This is why the Bible even tells us that we have to be what? Harmless as doves, but wise as serpents. Okay. Stop thinking the snake is evil. Okay. The snake also represents knowledge. Okay. And wisdom. Okay. Remember, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And if you reject knowledge, the Most High himself will reject you. Okay. Because the Most High is found in knowledge. He's found in knowledge. You cannot just only have faith in the Most High. Okay. So I hope this teaching was good for you all. Okay. A big shout out to Nabi Yaya Siba Malunga for what he does. He's mostly French speaking. Okay. For those who speak French, he has some videos in English, but this was a good one. All right. It shows that the world has truly been deceived and that many people are following the wrong belief. Okay. And that Israel was founded in in the 1940s. Okay. In our time period. So you have to pray and seek the Most High's face and ask him if what is being said today is true or not. Okay. And we're no longer debating people, guys. Okay. There's too much knowledge out there showing you the truth. Okay. So be very mindful of people who are claiming to be something that they're not. Okay. Because the true land is Beulah Zion in the kingdom of Congo. Okay. You look up where Zion is, it's in Africa. Okay. Beulah is in Angola. Okay. And a very special shout out to my teacher, Nabi Yaya Mikal Massa. Okay. You guys can look him up too. He's great. He's right here. My brother and my teacher. Okay. All right, family. And Sambulolo, may the Most High Spirit dwell with all of you. And may we all remove the lies of the Edomites. Okay. And the kingdom of Congo will reign forever. Okay. in Geta.